We are your official Wildcat and Ladycat station, KSST 1230 AM, Sulphur Springs, Texas. It's time for Ladycat soccer. Let's go out to Gerald Prim Stadium where tonight's game is called by KSST Sports Director Don Julian. Don?
James, Terry, thank you very much. Welcome everyone into Gerald Prim Stadium. And this evening, non-district contest between the North Lamar Pantherettes and the Ladycats of Sulphur Springs. This is the season opener for the Ladycats. Games have been allowed since January 2nd, but the Ladycats, this is the first thing on their schedule this year, so this is the season opener, and that could be somewhat of an advantage for North Lamar because they have already played 4 games this year against some really, really strong competition in a Liberty Hill tournament. And North Lamar 0-3-1, but all three of their losses against highly ranked teams. They lost to Liberty Hill, they lost to Salado, and they lost to Midlothian Heritage. All three of those really, really strong soccer programs. And they also played Brownwood, and they fought to a 2-2 tie in that one. So once again, North Lamar Pantherettes 0-3-1. Here's Coach Neal with introducing both teams.
Number 1, J.C. Proctor. Number 3, Addison Exum. Number 4, Renee Hildreth. Number 5, Avery Gurley. Number 6, Kinsley Waldrop. Number 7, Macy Pointer. Number 8, Ashley Trenchard. Number 9, Colleen Dawson. Number 10, Emery Watson. Number 11, Haley Jones. Number 12, Camilla Lenertz. Number 13, Ann Vucevic. Number 14, Michaela Winton. Number 18, Jerica Johnson. Number 99, J.C. Howell. Now, your starting lineup for your Sulphur Springs Ladycats. Number 0, Lily Worth. Number 1, McKenna Gamble. Number 2, Chloe Jones. Number 3, Jaden Van Winkle. Number 4, Isabel Bessing. Number 5, Ashley Noe. Number 6, Vanessa Lara. Number 7, Caitlin Robinson. Number 8, Jasmine Olvera. Number 9, Haley Robinson. Number 10, Rebecca Stanley. Number 11, Lois Rocha. Number 12, Lizette Carmona. Number 13, Shelby McCormick. Number 14, Janine Yamaguchi. Number 15, Karen Garcia. Number 16, Jenna Rackle. Number 18, Alexis Franks. Number 19, Elizabeth Alvarez. Number 21, Elizabeth Reyes. Your assistant coach, Cristal Martinez, and head coach, Javier Aguayo.
And introduction of both squads there by Coach
Now,
Neal.
please stand and remove your hats. We honor our nation with the playing of our national
Anthem. with that, both teams head back to their areas around the dugouts. A few Lady Cats not either in street clothes or not here, including McKenna Gamble, Chloe Jones, Jenna Rackle, and Elizabeth Reyes. I did not see any of them come out tonight, so for one reason or the other, the Lady Cats playing without them tonight. JV game tonight, Lady Cats won that one over North Lamar 2-1. And I believe, if my eyes did not deceive me, that looked like an on goal that was the decider in that JV contest. The Lady Cat kicked it toward the goal, but it looked like one of the players around the net, actually one North Lamar player, put it in their own net. That does happen from time to time. Teams gathered around coaches. Michael Pointer, the head coach for North Lamar's Pantherettes, and Javi Aguayo for the Lady Cats. He's got some fans down below yelling Javi. And I talked to him. This is his first official match as a head coach. I asked him if he was nervous. No. So pretty cool customer, and that may bode well. He seems to be kind of even keel, and he seems to be getting a lot out of these Lady Cats this year. So interesting to see how they progress this season with Coach Aguayo and a wonderful assistant, Christoph Martinez. If you're from around here and that name sounds familiar, he was the kicker on the Texas A&M Commerce National Champs. As North Lamar puts the ball into play, and we're underway here from Gerald Prim Stadium as the Lady Cats try to get something going on the offensive end. And they maneuver down the field. The ball on the foot of Rebecca Stanley, who had a couple of scrimmage goals. Lady Cats moving in, sending Stanley to the right side of the goal. North Lamar defender back there, and it'll roll across the end line, and it'll be a goal kick for North Lamar. Their starting at goal for them is J.C. Coward. And her coach, Michael Pointer, said that she might play in the field. He may, depending on how the game's going, may make a switch in goal at halftime. But obviously, if she's red hot, he'll stick with her, I'm probably sure. Here comes North Lamar on the attack, but a whistle stops that. And so ball to the Lady Cats on the side. And throwing in for the Lady Cats is Jaden Van Winkle. Ball's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Cats. Throw in for North Lamar. And their Pantherettes throw it in. And out of bounds off of a Lady Cat there. Again, that was Van Winkle. So North Lamar will throw it in. Kind of hard to see who throws that ball in. Has a flourishing ponytail right over the number. But maybe that'll swish in the right direction. I'll be able to spot who that is. She'll be doing a lot of throwing in, I think. And there's the toss in. And North Lamar working toward the goal. That player was Ashley Trenchard. And the ball went out of bounds, and this may set up a corner kick here. It is a corner kick for North Lamar. And so just to our left, here's a kick on the way. The Lady Cats, sent it back toward the goal, and then it was kicked across the end line. It'll be a goal kick for the Lady Cats. In goal for them is Lily Worth for the Lady Cats. And she will put the ball down on the edge of the small box, at 6-yard box. And Worth kicks it out of there. Comes down to one of the Robinsons there. That's Haley Robinson. Over on the near side now, moving down the field, Rebecca Stanley. Taken away, though, by North Lamar. They kick it forward. I believe that's Ashley Trenchard. And here's a North Lamar player breaking in toward the goal, coming in. The kick is in for a goal. North Lamar scores quickly here as she got on goal and then did something about it. That was kicked by J.C. Proctor. So Proctor with a goal at 36-38 here in the first half. North Lamar a 1-0 lead. And the ball is kicked back into the Lady Cats defense, and now it goes out of bounds. A throw in for North Lamar. A toss in now by Emery Watson. It's kicked back toward Watson, and she kicks it into the North Lamar defense to a pair of very bright pink shoes there. The Lady Cats move it across the midline. Far side there, that's Janine Yamaguchi. And she has it on the far side now and kicks it down the field. North Lamar, a left-footed kick out of the defense. But the Lady Cats come back and take over control. Ashley Noe moving in. Kicks it down the field toward Haley Robinson. Oh, she's got the ball in close. The kick was blocked, though. Good goal work there by J.C. Coward. And the ball comes across the near touchline. Throw in for the Lady Cats. But boy, what an opportunity there for Haley Robinson. A throw in for the Lady Cats. Comes down to Stanley. Now the ball kicked and goes across the touchline. Lady Cats will be throwing in very close to the flag down there. And throwing in will be Ashley Noe. Been playing soccer a long time here at Sulphur Springs High School. And Noe now has the ball back on her foot again. And left-footed kick right out in front. And North Lamar getting it out of there. There's a kick on the goal toward the Lady Cats, but taken by Coward, the goaltender for the Pantherettes, and she will punt it. Not much wind tonight, about a 5-mile-an-hour breeze from the south. Lady Cats, Shelby McCormick kicked it to a teammate, and now they'll kick it back into the Lady Cats defense. And sent up the field now to Ashley Noe right on the near touchline. She kicks toward Yamaguchi. And no, that's not Yamaguchi. That's Vanessa Lara. Excuse me, my mistake. I won't do that again. Lara's got some bright red shoes on. Ball comes into Ashley Noe. Oh, she almost got the official with that. Kicks it over to Yamaguchi. And Yamaguchi to the far touchline for the Lady Cats. They trail in this one, 1-0. A real quick goal for North Lamar here. As they had a difficulty. They've scored 2 goals this year in 4 games. So, but again, they have played some rugged competition. Kind of teams that do not allow you to possess the ball or shoot very much. Those really good teams. Here come the Lady Cats on the attack on the far touchline. Looks like Yamaguchi heading down there. Continues to maneuver. Now a left-footed kick out in front. Coward comes up, plays it right in front of a charging Lady Cat. I think that was Ashley Noe. And there's Coward's kick out of there. It's a short punt. And comes down to Stanley. Stanley moving in nicely. It's just a freshman here. Stanley moving in, a kick toward the goal, and another good job by the keeper there, Coward, to get her hands on that and keep it out of the goal. Strong kick on goal. I believe that Stewart is a freshman. I'll have to check that one. I do not have any listings of class for any of the Lady Cats, so I'm not real sure about that. That was my understanding, but I could well be wrong. Here's a kick into the Lady Cats defense, and now it comes over to the near touchline out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for North Lamar. And before the throw in can be made, I got a fairly decent look at that number. Looks like they're going to change. Oh, they're substituting out the thrower. That's Emery Watson. Finally, that flourishing ponytail swished just out of the way long enough for me to see the number 10. Now throwing in is Camilla Lenartz. There's a throw in. And back toward Lenartz, and she kicked it off of Stanley. But it'll be a throw in for the Lady Cats, so that did not happen the way I described it. Now a whistle blows, and now the throw in will come the other way. And Lenartz throwing the ball in for North Lamar, headed by Ashley Noe. Shelby McCormick got it over to Lois Rocha. Lady Cats working it around the defense. Now they'll kick it down the field. Goes by Haley Robinson. North Lamar, though, kicks it right back in. It's on the far touchline. Lady Cat Isabel Fessing. And now out of bounds on the far touchline. Last touch, North Lamar. Throw in for the Lady Cats. North Lamar kick. Right on that far touchline. Teams battling for possession. Lady Cats get it now. And a kick down the field. North Lamar kicks it to the side. It'll go across the near touchline. Throw in for the Lady Cats. And the throw in by Van Winkle. Down toward Ashley Noe, tried to maneuver in. And now this is Haley Robinson. Robinson kicked it off of a North Lamar defender. And then they kick it out of there. Trying to come out of there. Van Winkle gummed up the works for just a second for the Lady Cats, and now Stanley kicked it down the field. But North Lamar repels it right back out of there, up near the midline. Lady Cats kick it back in. North Lamar leading 1-0, just under 30 minutes to play here in the first half. North Lamar scored at 36-38, very early in this one, just 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Ooh, Worth played a little bit with that ball, and a North Lamar player was lurking. But Worth got on top of it and now kicks it out of there. Haley Robinson doing some banging out there, but now the ball goes out of bounds and last touched by the Lady Cats. Throw in for North Lamar off of Ashley Noe. Ashley with the left foot, trying to find a teammate there, and that would be Lois Rocha. It's back into the Lady Cats defense. Comes down to Laura. Now on the far side, and the Lady Cats moving in. They're still out about 25-30 yards on the far side. Out toward Laura. And now the Lady Cats will kick back to Shelby McCormick, the defender. She gets it over to Van Winkle. Van Winkle kicks it down the field to Stanley. Stanley being marked very closely. Now it's back to Stanley. Gets it over to Ashley Noe. Tried to pass to the middle of the field. Laura coming up, but North Lamar got there first. And here come the Pantherettes on the fly as they come down the near touchline. Tried to pass toward the center. The Lady Cats intercept. Kick out toward Ashley Noe. And now Noe has it. Tried to get around North Lamar player, but could not. Goes back, picks up the ball. Back to McCormick. Van Winkle. Right on the near touchline. Knocked out of bounds North Lamar. I think that, no, it said it went off the Lady Cats. Throw in now for Lenartz. And the ball now, Rocha and all the way to the far touchline and across. And North Lamar looks like a throw in here. 27-25 left in the first half. North Lamar 1, the Ladycats 0. With a real quick goal by J.C. Proctor. Substitution for North Lamar. Back for their defense. And now given the go-ahead, here's the North Lamar throw-in from the far touchline. But a whistle will blow. And we're going to have a rethrow here. North Lamar substitution for the Lady Cats coming in, Caitlin Robinson, replacing Lois Rocha. And North Lamar on the far touchline, moving the ball to the center of the field. Now kicking it down the field, went off of a player, and Lady Cats come back for it. Caitlin Robinson, right along that near touchline, out of bounds. Last touch, Lady Cats. Throw in for North Lamar. And Lennertz throws it in, and a whistle blows. Well, we've had a lot of that. Oh, another substitution for North Lamar. They're bringing in two. Two in and two out. So Coach Pointer using a lot of players tonight. We thank him, by the way. He's responsible, his permission allowing us to live stream, post this match to YouTube, as well as do radio and also run this on our cable access channel. But live stream because of Coach Pointer. We appreciate him. It was nice to meet him today. He's a very personable coach. Been around the Paris area for 10 years or so, seems like, maybe 15. Now here come the Lady Cats in on the attack. Player maneuvering in, a kick toward the goal, but the keeper is up to the task. That was Caitlin Robinson. But J.C. Coward was able to get her mitts on it. And she sends it down the field on a kick. Now it's on the near touchline for North Lamar. Kick it down the field and go out of bounds, where it's played deftly there by Wildcats head coach Alexi Upton, who's down there around the Lady Cats dugout, supporting his former assistant, Javier Aguayo, who's now the head coach for the Lady Cats. Here's the North Lamar free kick after a penalty against the Lady Cats. And a player maneuvering in there, and now Worth is able just to cover that ball in front of a North Lamar player trying to kick at that ball. So Lily Worth with the punt out of there. And puts the foot into it. I don't know if you heard that on my mic. I sure heard it in my ears after she kicked that ball. Ball on the far touchline. Lady Cats maneuvering down. And now intercepted by North Lamar. They kick to the far touchline. Laura working for the Lady Cats, trying to get control. Kicks it up the field. And North Lamar propels it out of there. Here's a Lady Cats kick toward the goal. And coming up the field is Coward. And here comes the punt by North Lamar. Coward out of the goal. And the ball settles down toward Van Winkle, taken away, and then North Lamar player knocked off her feet, and a foul on the Lady Cats. A free kick coming for North Lamar. And looks like the goal scorer tonight, Proctor, may take this free kick. It'll be just 5 yards from the midline in North Lamar territory for Proctor. Well, Proctor puts the foot into it. Comes down off of a Lady Cat. Both teams fighting for possession. McCormick kicks it up the field. Noe tried to get around one of the North Lamar players, could not. And now Proctor moving in again, but Lily Worth comes up to cover the ball in the 18-yard box. And she boots it down the field off of a Ladycat. Ashley Noe finds a teammate, that is Stanley, down the field to the far side. A kick down the field on that far touchline. Ladycats send a player in, apparently onside. Far left of the goal, trying to maneuver around a defender, maneuvering in. And now it goes far left of the goal. Ladycats moving in there, kicked out, but the Ladycats continuing to put on some pressure. Back to Ashley Noe. She rips a right-footed kick, but it'll veer just to the left of the goal, just outside of the pipe there on that side of the goal. So a goal kick for North Lamar. 21-33 in the first half. North Lamar 1, the Ladycats 0. Kick out of there. And again, teams fighting for possession. Ball up near the midline. There's a kick by Ladycat Isabel Thessing. And now the ball back to Ashley Noe. Ashley maneuvering with a left-footed kick, but North Lamar defender has it corralled. Right over by the far touchline, kicks it up the field, and it stayed inbounds for a while, then went out of bounds. Ladycats a throw-in at 20:52. The first half, North Lamar 1, the Ladycats 0. Again, North Lamar scoring within the first 3.5 minutes of this contest. Throw in for the Ladycats. Far touchline out of bounds off North Lamar. Ladycats throw in off of Laura. Kicked into the Ladycats defense. There's a strong kick out of there by the Ladycats. And North Lamar coming out of their own defensive end. The Ladycats stopped that. And now the ball taken off of a Pantherette's foot by Ashley Noe with a left foot down the field. And again, teams battling for possession. North Lamar has it. Moves it up to Leonard's. She kicks it down the field, goes through everybody, and Worth will play that when she comes out of the box and kicks it out of there. Down towards Stanley. And Stanley on the move across the midline. Here comes Rebecca Stanley in a big hurry. And Rebecca Stanley moving in. She's bumped, continues to move in, and the ball goes across the end line. A corner kick for the Ladycats. Good effort by Stanley to stay with it there, even with the defensive contact. And so a corner kick for the Ladycats, as this will be Rebecca Stanley with the Ladycats all around that goal. And let's see how Stanley plays this one from the corner. And there's a kick on the way, and it's right out in front. And it's still out in front. The ball in the goal for the Ladycats.
Oh, Ladycats.
And I believe that was Laura. I saw those red shoes down there. She was either the first one to congratulate the goal scorer or was the goal scorer. And that's going to be my guess. I'm going to say Vanessa Laura at 19 minutes. And of course, we will confirm these goals at the end of the game. We'll make sure when the story is posted online tonight that we will have the proper goal scorers according to the team and not just these fuzzy eyeballs up here in the booth. We're tied at 1 in the first half. After I'm going to give the goal to Laura. It was real hard. The goal went in there, and I saw who kicked it, and then there were two girls hugging each other, and Laura was one of them. So I speculated that I thought she put it in there, but it could have been the one next to her. But again, we'll sort that out. And the ball now in the defensive end for the Ladycats. It's on the far touchline, goes across the touchline, last touch Ladycats. Throw in North Lamar as they throw it in. Ladycats trying to come out of the defensive end. North Lamar has possession, but a whistle blows. And going to have a foul on the Pantherettes. Free kick for the Ladycats. One of the defenders there on the far side will roll it to Ashley Noe right in the middle of the field. And Ashley brings it over to Van Winkle. And now they send Caitlin Robinson down the right side on the near touchline here. Right on that touchline, still grappling for the ball, kicked up the field. Comes down to Ashley Noe. Noe weaving in, kicks toward the goal, a strong kick, but that ball hooking to the left. And picked up there by Coward. I think Ashley was hoping that one of her teammates could get there, but did not happen. So there's the punt out by Coward. Noe's got it back with the left foot. Finds Stanley over to Laura. Laura to a teammate there. May have been Yamaguchi. Now back out to Noe, putting on some footwork and kicks it back to the defense over to Shelby McCormick and over to Van Winkle. Van Winkle off her foot though by North Lamar. And here comes Lennertz. He kicks to the middle of the field. There's that goal scorer for them. Proctor. Here's a long kick by North Lamar. Good catch there. Sometimes those ones up high are not as easy as it looks to catch. And Worth did a good job on that one, and now she'll punt it out of there. And pops it down the field. Hops over a lot of people and comes down to Haley Robinson. Robinson slips and falls. I hope she's okay. So gathering herself. Now she's up. And Stanley coming in, but taken off her foot. And bumped off the ball by Ashley Noe. Gets it over to Vanessa Laura. Laura moving in. And comes over to Caitlin Robinson. Now the Ladycats play catch on the defensive end. Van Winkle worked around to Ashley Noe. And she kicks it back to Jasmine Olvera. Ladycats defenders up around the midline as they're putting on the pressure right now. And now they kick and chase, but this will go too far in. The keeper will come out and grab that. And will punt it out of there. Coward, J.C. Coward, has only let one in so far. Each goaltender has allowed one. We're 1-1. 15:05 left here in the first half. Here's Rebecca Stanley. Stanley accelerating between a couple of players. Kicked it. It's right out in front, but a good play by a defender for North Lamar. And then Coward, after the ball got stopped, she grabbed hold of it and now punts it out of there. But again, Stanley impressive, working her way down the field. There's Van Winkle. Ball taken away from her. A left-footed kick. And Proctor stopped. It'll be kicked back to Raina Hildreth. And now the ball goes across the far touchline. Ladycats a throw in. 14-14 left in the first half, and we're tied at 1 here from Gerald Prim Stadium. The Ladycats of Sulphur Springs, Pantherettes of North Lamar, old district foes from years gone by. When I first started covering soccer in '06, the two teams were district foes. North Lamar, of course, I guess they were both in the same classification back then, but even as North Lamar got smaller, along with Paris, in classification, they continued to play against the Ladycats. And here comes a Ladycat racing toward the goal. The kick is away, but Coward is there to stop it. 13:33 left here in the first half. Boy, there were some spirited games between these two teams in the past. They both had those little bitty bandbox fields. We had our Prim Stadium here, the old Prim, and they had that stadium over at North Lamar, and they were both little bandboxes, but they've created quite the home court advantage for those teams. Here's a ball kicked out of bounds, and we will have A substitution coming in for the Lady Cats, Karen Garcia. And it'll be a throw-in for the Lady Cats. It was off of North Lamar. Substitutions for both teams. Now given the go-ahead, and Van Winkle throws it in to Ashley Noe, but taken away by North Lamar. They threaten down the left side. Here's Proctor coming in, trying to find a teammate in the middle. They kick it back out, taken away Ashley Noe. As they continue to fight for possession, goes back to Vanessa Lara. Lara. Ball over to Caitlin Robinson. Or Haley Robinson, excuse me. Oh, wait a minute. That was, and this is Haley Robinson. A defender fell down for North Lamar. Haley kicks it right out in front. Oh, went right through two Lady Cats. Oh, my. Ball on the far touchline. The Lady Cats continue with possession. Trying to fight through defenders, though, and couldn't get through that North Lamar defense. And the ball up now near the midline toward Proctor. She sends a teammate flying down the field. The Lady Cats back on defense. And then sent over by Isabel Thessing to the far touchline. But North Lamar trying to fight through her. Ball right out in front. Ooh, almost a North Lamar player getting there, but the Lady Cats pry it loose. And then they'll kick it down the field up near the midline. Now the Lady Cats on the attack as they quickly move down. And now broken up by North Lamar and kicked back in the direction of the midline, but right on the foot of Stanley. And Stanley steams down the field, having trouble with the North Lamar defense. Now goes around the defender. Now she takes her own one-on-one. Good footwork, kicks it toward the middle, headed out to Laura, settles it down, kicks toward the goal, but it'll be to the left of the goal from her perspective. And Coward's got it, and she'll punt. 10:40 left in the first half, and we're tied at 1 here from Gerald Prim Stadium. There's a kick out of the goal to Ashley Noe. She works it back to a teammate there. That's Van Winkle. And now fighting for possession. Ashley Noe's got it. Tried to get around North Lamar player, could not. And here come the Pantherettes across the midline on the attack. A right-footed kick down the field, and it'll be taken there by Worth. So Lily Worth will now punt it out of there. And thumps it down the field. Lady Cats kick it up near the midline. Settled down there by Rebecca Stanley. And Stanley on the move. Sends a player racing in down the right side, but the North Lamar defender was the faster of the two, and she just kicked it out of bounds so North Lamar can set up their defense and give up the Lady Cats throw in. Pretty deep in North Lamar territory there. So a throw in for the Lady Cats. Toss back to Ashley Noe. And Noe with a right foot, that's going to stay right and hit the side of the goal. So a goal kick coming up for North Lamar. The keeper will defer to the field player. And this kick by North Lamar will be Jerica Johnson. And Johnson with a kick. Down to Stanley. Stanley with a left-footed kick. Broken up by North Lamar, and they kick it high in the air up near the midline off of a Lady Cat's knee, and got another knee into it. And back to Stanley, and she'll kick back toward Van Winkle. And Van Winkle back to Stanley, and she rolls it back to Ashley Noe. Noe down the field finds Haley Robinson. Haley out toward Vanessa Laura. And now back to Haley Robinson, and then broken up by North Lamar up near the midline. Pantherettes have it pried loose, but North Lamar still has it across the midline. Moving down the field, the Lady Cats come up and take it away. I think that was Olvera She kicked it down the field. It goes back to Olvera. She punches it up around the midline. Laura back checking vigorously for the Lady Cats, but North Lamar has it. They'll kick it down the field. Comes down to Karen Garcia. And Garcia trying to find teammates, but a North Lamar player came back and had it. And now Ashley Noe bumped off the ball, and Stanley maneuvering down the field. Stanley has great control of the ball and very good speed. Continues to move in, finally broken up. Here's Vanessa Lara with a long kick, but again, it headed to the left. Lady Cats look like me hitting a golf shot sometime tonight. Their ball has a lot of hook to it. And they'll kick toward the goal, and it'll take that little hook. My hook is not so little. It's gigantic. A goal kick now for North Lamar. 6:53 left in the first half. Coming in for the Lady Cats now, Lois Rocha. Here's the kick out of the goal by North Lamar on the far touchline. We're tied at 1, 6:37 left here in the first half. And once again, the Lady Cats maneuvering the ball to the left of the goal. Now we get a whistle. And a violation against the Lady Cats, setting up a free kick for North Lamar, and they bang it out of there up near the midline and headed further. Broken up by Olvera. Finds Laura. Gets it over to Haley Robinson. Works it to Ashley Noe as they continue to come from one side of the field to the other. And they'll send Caitlin Robinson down the right side. It'll roll across the touchline. Last touch by the Lady Cats. Throw in for North Lamar. 5:55, all that's left in the first half with a 1-1 tie. Ball down the field to Shelby McCormick. Proctor almost pried it loose, but the Lady Cats kept control. Now it'll go across the near touchline. And a throw in for North Lamar, taken by Watson. Down toward Proctor, who has the goal for North Lamar. Prying it loose, kicks to the middle. Lady Cats kick it out of there. North Lamar keeping the pressure on. Player coming in to the left of the goal, and it went across the end line. And it's going to be a goal kick for the Lady Cats, out of bounds off of North Lamar. And Worth will take this at the edge of the small box, that 6-yarder. Little bitty box right outside the goal, and then the box of 18. And that's yards. Here's the kick on the way. Go off of Noe. And the Lady Cats find Stanley. Oh, her kick intercepted, though, by North Lamar, and they come in with a lot of purpose. Here's a left-footed kick. It'll stay left, though. And that kicker was Ashley Trenchard. Goal kick for the Lady Cats with 4:30 left here in the first half. Each team with a goal. Scoring for North Lamar was Proctor at 36-38. I had the Lady Cat goal, Lara, at 1900. And here's the kick by Worth. Maybe if Upton comes up here at halftime, he can give us some edification on who the goal was scored by. Now a kick down the field, out of bounds off North Lamar. Lady Cats with a throw in. It'll be Van Winkle with a throw in. Her first name Jaden, Jadyn. And now she will throw it in. She's in the proper spot. Ball comes into a new Lady Cat. Oh no, that's Shelby McCormick. She's been in there. Foul on North Lamar. Lady Cats with a free kick at 3:25. And Ashley Noe. That ball right on the out of bounds stripe for the football field. Out about 55 yards. There's a kick by Ashley Noe. Goes off of a North Lamar player. And coming up with purpose. Oh, it's intercepted by McCormick. And she kicks for Stanley. Stanley right on the near touchline. Rolls it back to Noe, who kicks it down the field, and then it's redirected out of bounds by North Lamar. Throw in Lady Cats, Van Winkle. With 2:48 left in the first half, we're tied at 1. Ball comes in. North Lamar has it. That's Ann Vukovic. And there's a ball kicked into North Lamar territory. They kick it into the Lady Cats end, and Proctor's got that ball. And finding a teammate, she's in, looks like in onside, trying to settle it down for a kick. Moves it out, kicks toward the goal. Nice positioning by Lily Worth right there for the save for the Lady Cats. That was some smart soccer to move that ball out to get that kicking angle. And she put a strong kick on the goal, but a good defensive play by Lily Worth. Ashley Noe kicks it downfield to Garcia. Garcia trying to go around the North Lamar player, trying to maneuver North Lamar defender, not being denied. And now North Lamar will kick it down the field toward Proctor. She kicks it toward the middle. Olvera on defense. Lady Cats, another defender, holds a North Lamar player off and kicks it to the far touchline. North Lamar kicking it further down the field. The Lady Cats up the field on the far touchline. That's Laura over there. And there's a booming kick out of the defense that went out of bounds. It'll be thrown in for North Lamar. 1:20, all that's left here in the first half. And a 1-1 tie from Gerald Prim Stadium. Still another half left here. Have not heard anything from basketball tonight other than a JV score. The Lady Cats JV winning, a close one, 34-29. But nothing since varsity play began. And now the ball, Lady Cats try to bring it out of there over to Ashley Noe. And now comes over. Lady Cats have it on the near side. Van Winkle, and now out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for North Lamar. Just 30 seconds left. And throw in. Lady Cats trying to get to it. 22 seconds, all that's left. North Lamar kicks it down the field. They'll go on the attack now for the last few seconds. Kicked off of a Lady Cat defender. Ashley Noe sends it over toward Laura right on the far touchline. Just 9 seconds left. It's going to take a dramatic goal if they're going to score it now. There's only 4 seconds. She'd have to rip from on that far touchline and kept rolling it along, and the clock just ran out on her. So the first half is history, and it's the Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs won, and the North Lamar Pantherettes won. The Pantherettes scored first. Goal from J.C. Proctor at 36-38. So that's just 3 minutes and 22 seconds into this contest. And then the Lady Cats got the equalizer at 1900, or 19 minutes. Vanessa Lara is the one I gave the goal to. And we're tied 1-1 at the half. And so we are at the half here, and we will take a break here. We'll come back with some halftime for you as we have a 10-minute break before we start the second half. So we're at the half between the Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs and the North Lamar Pantherettes, and the score is tied at 1-1. So let's take a break, and we'll be back in a moment. We're at the half here at Gerald Prim Stadium, tied 1-1, North Lamar and the Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs, and really great news tonight from Sherman. The Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs have picked up a big win over Sherman, 42-41. And my buddy Craig, who is there sending me information tonight, he's a big fan in Wildcats and Lady Cats, and he's getting to see them both tonight. And he called it a Herculean effort, and that sounds like a good way. It sounds like I had some players hobbled and unable to play, and having to have players in foul trouble that kept going, and all this kind of stuff. And the Lady Cats come out on top, 42-41. So congratulations to them. Wildcats game will be starting. It'll be the late show. That's going to be after 8 o'clock there in Sherman. So Clark Cipolletta's bunch still to play. Lady Cats will start the second half with control of the ball. Trying to see who that is out in the center. It's Yamaguchi, Janine Yamaguchi, and kicks it into the Lady Cats defense. Shelby McCormick kicks it out up near the midline, and North Lamar will take control. They kick back to their defense and then down the field. McCormick came up and found Laura. Now it's in the middle of the field for the Lady Cats, and they kick deep. Ashley Noe chasing, trying to get there before the keeper, but the keeper just beat her to the ball. Luckily, there was not a huge collision down there. And North Lamar's keeper will boot it out of there. And I think we have a new keeper for North Lamar. I'll try to confirm that for you. I'm going to have to put some field glasses on that keeper to see if I can detect a number. Here's Ashley Noe. The first half keeper played very, very well. Ball comes out to Haley Robinson. She rolls it to Laura in the middle of the field. Passes down to Stanley. Stanley on the move. Rolls it over to Noe, and then is kicked back to Haley Robinson. She finds Isabel Thessing to Olvera. And Thessing down the field off of a North Lamar player who now has control. That is Raina Hildreth. And her kick down the field off McCormick. Roll past her. Olvera gets back there to it and then kicks it to the far side, right into the dugout for North Lamar. Throw in for the Pantherettes. And the Lady Cats on the far touchline. Now it's rolled to the middle of the field. Haley Robinson over toward Ashley Noe and kicked back toward Thessing and got behind her and went out of bounds. So throw in for North Lamar. Coming over to toss it in is going to be Michaela Winton. So Winton with the throw in for North Lamar off of a Lady Cat. Roll to Haley Robinson. And she rolls it to the far side. I believe that's Van Winkle over there. Toward Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi battling a taller North Lamar player. Now it's kicked. Lady Cats have it again. They give it to Stanley. Stanley maneuvering. Now lost possession of the ball, and it goes over to Winton. And down the field for North Lamar to Trenchard. Lady Cats have it. Haley Robinson. Ashley Noe. Left foot toward Stanley and then kicked out of bounds. Down near the Jaybird down there. Johnson, I believe is his last name. Here's a kick toward the center to Laura. Back to Van Winkle. Over near the far touchline. Now she comes toward the middle of the field. And North Lamar takes it away and kicks it down the field. The Lady Cats trying to control it in their defensive end, which they do. Thessing got it up to Stanley. Stanley chips it toward Ashley Noe. Noe in. Kicks it right out in front. Rolled it there, but nobody could get there but the keeper. And so a North Lamar kick out of there. And that looks like it continues to be J.C. Coward wearing that 9-9 in the goal. Here come the Lady Cats on the far side. That's Caitlin Robinson. Taken away by North Lamar. They kick it along that touchline, out of bounds it goes. Lady Cats throw in. And there is the throw in for the Lady Cats on the far side. And now along the touchline, it'll roll out of bounds. Throw in for the Lady Cats. We're at 35-36. We're in the second half. We're tied 1-1. A very even soccer game between these two teams. Both of them seeking their first win of the season. So hungry teams. Ball comes back to Olvera. Intercepted North Lamar. Now intercepted by the Ladycats Thessing. She gets it over to Ashley Noe. She finds a teammate there. And that is Haley Robinson just keeping it in bounds. Kicks toward the middle to Stanley. Stanley the kick. Oh, great save by Coward. I thought that had the net. I thought Stanley had put that one by her, but she just got to it. And first knocked it down and then corralled it. Kick out of there by North Lamar. Strong effort on that kick by Stanley. Lady Cats have control. Laura right at the midline. Comes into North Lamar territory. Looking for some help. Kicks it further down the field in the general direction there of Caitlin Robinson. Laura over there mixing it up with the North Lamar players. Back to Caitlin Robinson. And out of bounds off North Lamar. Throw in for the Lady Cats into Yamaguchi. Janine Yamaguchi. Back to Haley Robinson. Haley considers about a 30-footer and then passes over to Stanley. Stanley was about ready to tee it up. Stanley maneuvering in. She is being well marked and gets it over to Thessing toward the middle. And North Lamar will boom it out of there. And actually a nice pass, and then further down the field. And North Lamar with a player ahead of the field moving in. Here's the kick and a nice play by Worth. So Worth up to the challenge there as North Lamar looked like an interesting goal chance. Now North Lamar back toward the goal and a nice catch about ankle high there for Worth. And Worth will now boot it out of there. 33-15 left in the second half. And we're tied 1-1 here from Gerald Prim Stadium. Ball on the far touchline. Past the midline. North Lamar gets to it off of a Lady Cat, Laura. Here's a kick to the near side. Now it's out in the middle of the field. Lady Cat's defense has it. Oh, they almost gave it up in the defensive end. Then a big collision, and if that's a foul, this could be a free kick from just outside the 18. And a yellow card is coming out.
Free kick for the Badgers.
And a free kick. And this looks to be about, no, it's going to be out like 21 yards and right in the middle. So a collision there, and the Lady Cats got called for the collision. And this will set up, now Lady Cats can set up the picket line. I know, I remember Coach Aguayo telling me that one of the goals they gave up because they didn't have enough girls on the picket line. Only had 3 and they needed 4. They've got 3 right now. Now that 4th one gets in there as they have to be back, I believe it's 10 yards. This is about a 21-yard kick for North Lamar. And their previous goal scorer did not kick it. They got another player line one up, and it was saved there by Worth. Proctor went by it, but she was a decoy. And then another North Lamar player tried the kick, but was unsuccessful to get it in there. And now another whistle blows. And North Lamar kick. It's on the far touchline. As players getting into this game now, a little bit more what we remember from the old rivalry days. Here's a deep kick into North Lamar territory. And they got to the ball and then kicked it out of bounds. So it'll be a throw in for the Lady Cats deep in North Lamar territory. The throw comes in. And now we have a whistle. And I guess an illegal throw in or something. And North Lamar is going to get the toss in now. whatever the Lady Cats did on the throw-in was not allowed, and it reversed possession of the ball here. Player coming in off the North Lamar bench. We have 31-26 left in the second half. We're tied 1-1 here at Gerald Prim Stadium. There's a throw-in. And again, you missed it right out of the halftime break. The Lady Cats in basketball beats Sherman tonight. Must have been a thriller there, 42-41. Lady Cats a hard-earned victory. That's one that they will look at with a lot of pride. I'm sure a road win like that. And that's a team hungry for victories. They've only had 6 this year, so they will treasure that one. Here's a throw-in for North Lamar. The Lady Cats trying to get it out of there. They roll it to the middle, but a North Lamar player there, her kick toward the goal is knocked down and kicked toward the goal and went wide left. Oh my. North Lamar had a player just right in front of the goal, out about 10 yards or so, and lined up a kick, but it sailed left. Sometimes that ball will just not cooperate when you're trying to settle it down and kick it. It kind of goes where it wants to. Lady Cats now with a kick out of their own goal. And here is a kick out of there. Lady Cats get it down the field a little bit. North Lamar kicks it right back, and it'll be taken by Worth. Ooh, that one took a high bounce. She had to stick her arms as high as she could get them there to grab that soccer ball. And now Lily Worth puts the foot into it, headed by North Lamar. Lady Cats have it right now. They work it over. It came over to Alexis Franks. Now it comes back to Ashley Noe, and Franks kicks it down the field. Chasing is Stanley, and North Lamar will roll it out of bounds to kind of get things settled down. And throwing in for the Lady Cats, I believe, will be Franks. No, she's going to defer to Ashley Noe. And Noe with the senior throw in. Comes down to Stanley. And back to Haley Robinson. Kick it back to Ashley Noe. Noe fighting off a defender. Tried to get it past her. And now it goes out of bounds, and throw in Lady Cats, according to the officials. So they'll take that ball from North Lamar, and Ashley Noe with a throw in. 28:49 left in the second half. We're tied 1-1 into Stanley. Stanley had a couple of scrimmage goals. Here's a kick toward the goal. Not much on that by Haley Robinson, and she had to kind of pick herself up off the ground and shake something off after she got hit right when she kicked. Now the ball coming to the near touch line, out of bounds. The Lady Cats throw in fairly deep in North Lamar territory, and Ashley Noe cruises down to throw that ball in for the Lady Cats. Ashley also a cross-country runner for the Lady Cats this year. And the ball out to Vanessa Laura. Laura maneuvering in. And now the ball is pried loose. Back to Haley Robinson. She kicks toward the middle of the field. Haley from side to side, further down the field toward Caitlin Robinson. Now the ball kicked out of there. Caitlin knocked down. Ball on the far touchline, Laura. And now back to Caitlin Robinson. Toward the center, Yamaguchi. Janine kicks toward the goal, and oh my. It was on the side of the goal. That was kind of an optical illusion. It looked like it was out in front, but it was on the side. So I got excited for nothing there, but it'll be a goal kick for North Lamar. 27-17 left in the second half. North Lamar won, the Lady Cats won. Season opener for the Lady Cats, and this is the 5th game of the season. They played those little short tournament games for North Lamar. They're 0-3-1. But again, against at least 3 ranked opponents. That's kind of Joel Bailey's luck last year. Every time he went to a tournament, he drew Highland Park or, some other really Flower Mound Marcus or somebody, some of those really tough schools and huge, big 6As. So that's, although these were smaller schools, more like 4As, they were really quality teams in Liberty Hill and Midlothian Heritage and Salado. Used to live not too far away from Salado. Always enjoyed visiting that place in Central Texas. Here's a kick down the field, and Worth got there first right in front of a North Lamar player. So Lily Worth will roll it out of there to a Ladycat teammate. I believe that's Van Winkle over there trying to put on a move. Kicks it up the field. Haley Robinson over to Laura and back to Haley Robinson down toward Caitlin Robinson. Out of bounds. Last touch, North Lamar. Ladycats throw in. 25-43. Tied 1-1 here from Gerald Prim Stadium. And we have a substitution. Returning to action is Lois Rocha. And once she's in battle now, there'll be a throw in for the Ladycats, Van Winkle. Jaden Van Winkle. I think we're ready to go now. And Van Winkle's throw in. It's on the far touchline. Ladycats down further there. Moving into Stanley. Stanley turning around, getting around the defense. Kicks toward the goal, off the keeper. It's right out in front. And the Ladycats trying to corral it. Rocha will kick it back to Ashley Noe. Noe trying to get it and go there. Will now kick down the field toward Caitlin Robinson. Broken up by North Lamar, but they kick to the Ladycats. It's on the foot of Laura. The far touchline. Laura trying to get around the corner. Looking for some help. Will kick toward the goal. The keeper, she had a little bit of hard time corralling that with Haley Robinson right on the doorstep there, but finally did get control. And now the boot out of there by Coward. Comes off of Rocha and it's kicked up the field. Noe sends it down the field. Now it's kicked back toward the midline and headed over toward Van Winkle, right on the far touchline, and kicked out of bounds. Last touch by the Ladycats. Throw in for North Lamar. 23:50 left in the second half. We're tied 1-1. There'll be no overtime or any of that stuff tonight. This would just end in a tie if it ends up 1-1. As the non-district game. And again, the Wildcats basketball team playing Sherman tonight had a late start. The game didn't start till 8 o'clock. North Lamar moving in toward the goal. The Ladycats defense directs it to the side. And Thessing works it over to Janine Yamaguchi. Finds Stanley. Stanley always dangerous with that ball. And kicks it down to Yamaguchi, and it's out in front. Wide open the kick. Right into the keeper. Oh my, a wonderful opportunity for Haley Robinson. And her kick goes right into Coward, the goalkeeper. Looked like a wonderful opportunity there for the Ladycats. But sometimes, that's the keeper doing what they're supposed to do with good positioning. Here's the goal kick out for North Lamar. It's right on the touch line, kicked up the field. North Lamar moving it down the field, continuing to make some progress. And they'll send a player in on the right side and will kick. It went off of McCormick and then out of bounds. And that'll set up a goal kick for the Pantherettes. Always an interesting situation, a goal kick. Or excuse me, not a goal kick, a corner kick. Goal kick is just a kind of a routine thing. Here's the corner kick by North Lamar. It's a down and headed into the goal. Goal for North Lamar.
Goal for the Panthers.
As their congratulating that goalkeeper. I've got my eyes glued on her. And that was scored by Ashley Trenchard at 21-41. And North Lamar leads 2-1 here in the second half. And now once again, that corner kick. And as we continue play here, the ball was kicked up into the visiting stands here at Prim. And luckily, that ball kind of rolls back down. Here's a throw in by the Lady Cats, who now trail 2-1. They've got 21 minutes to try to get the equalizer. Ball over to Ashley Noe. Noe down to Rocha. Kicks toward Yamaguchi, broken up by North Lamar. Pantherettes kick it down the field. And here they come. Trenchard, that goal scorer. Rocha has it, but taken away by North Lamar. And Haley Robinson took it away, but got called for a foul, so it'll be a free kick for North Lamar. Out about 48 yards or something away. Just a little bit past the hash mark, but this is a long way out if you try to go all the way. Kicks it down the field right off of Stanley. And Stanley coming down the field in purpose. She doesn't move particularly fast, but she is quite elusive, and just as I say that, the ball got taken off her foot. North Lamar moving the ball down the field, and whistle blows, and the ball ends up into the goalkeeper. I think an offside was called that blew that dead. So a free kick for the Lady Cats, and they'll roll it over to Ashley Noe. And some kind of call there that looked like illegal procedure in football. And they'll make them re-kick it here. And now there's the kick down the field for the Lady Cats. Yamaguchi has it. Yamaguchi on the move to the middle of the field. Chips it down the field. North Lamar hammers it forward. North Lamar now kicks it. Has Trenchard to racing in, but Worth will get there first. And see how she plays this one. And she'll just roll it out to a defender. 19:20 left here in the second half. And North Lamar leading the Lady Cats 2-1. There's no telling of what kind of difference it makes to have played 4 games compared to playing your very first one. And the Lady Cats, their 2 scrimmages were very early. I know they did have the alumni scrimmage, but that's kind of fun in games. So it's been a while since, I believe, since they had much on the field contact. That probably that second scrimmage against Paris way back when. Throw in now for North Lamar. Trenchard kicks it high in the air. Lady Cats kick it out of bounds. Throw in North Lamar. 18:20 left in the contest. North Lamar leading 2-1 as they got a headed in goal by Trenchard after a corner kick. And it was a beautiful corner kick. It was just right on the doorstep, and all Trenchard had to do was head that ball right in for the leading goal. That was a perfectly executed corner kick and goal. Ball on the near touchline, out of bounds off the Lady Cats. North Lamar to throw in. 17:48 and counting. We have a first quarter basketball score for you. Sulphur Springs 18, Sherman 4. Wow. So the Wildcats off to a good start in their ball game. Kind of shocking Sherman a little bit. The Wildcats can have that impact on you there. They're beginning to get a reputation. Here come the Lady Cats down the field. Over to Yamaguchi. She sends it over to Stanley. Stanley working against a defender, trying to put on a maneuver. continuing to maneuver around nicely, trying to open up for a shot. Gets it over to Vanessa Lara. She's trying to open for a shot. Here's the right-footed kick, right to Coward. Again, played that well. Nice try there by Lara to put that on goal, but the keeper comes out on top on that one. North Lamar kicks it down the field, and they work it down to Proctor. And Proctor will kick, but off of a Lady Cats defender, but taken back by North Lamar, and they'll kick down the left side as they come in. And here's a kick toward the middle. Lady Cats trying to get that out of there. North Lamar trying to keep it in. And North Lamar kicks it toward the middle. A player turns and shoots. Another one goes in off of Worth. And it went across the end line. This should be another corner kick for North Lamar. They'll try the other side this time. As we're at 15:57, North Lamar putting on the pressure here. They lead 2-1, and they would like to get a 2-goal lead here, something we've not seen in this soccer game. And here is the corner kick, and it's off of a Lady Cat, popped out of there. Comes down to Stanley, and she gets it over to Haley Robinson. Robinson maneuvering with a lot of speed, and Robinson maneuvering in around a North Lamar defender will kick. It went off another defender, and now it's going to go across the end line, and that should set up a corner kick for the Lady Cats now.
Corner kick for the Lady Cats.
And Rebecca Stanley heads in that direction. She's chasing the ball, and I think she'll continue right on into that corner. It's to our left and on the far side of the field for Rebecca Stanley. And I know Javier probably early in the season started working on these kind of shots on both on all these set pieces. And here's Stanley's corner kick, and sends it, and now booted out of there North Lamar. The Lady Cats chasing it down, and they'll kick back and now try to work it back over to Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi moving in, opens for a shot. Kick went to the left. So it'll go back to North Lamar for the goal kick.
Goal kick, man.
You know, I've said this before, but for something that is a goal kick is it's a kick out of the goal. And but it sounds really exquisite. It's a kick out of the goal. Life's like that sometimes. Promise much and deliver not much. Goal kick now for North Lamar. 13:47 left here in the second half, and North Lamar leading 2-1. So the Lady Cats still have some time, but time is getting precious here. Ball comes back to Thessing. North Lamar kicks it down the field, goes across the far touchline near the dugout for North Lamar. Now back into the Lady Cats defense. Roll it down to Stanley, always a good person to put that ball in her hands. Stanley just kind of drifting through players. Now finally North Lamar got control. They kicked it off of another Lady Cat. Comes over to Yamaguchi. She's kind of squeezed, but works it through to Stanley. Stanley moving in, but couldn't tee it up. And North Lamar will kick it out of bounds right to the feet of Alexi Upton again. And he gives it over to Olvera to throw the ball in at 12:48 left in the second half. The ball down towards Stanley. She's being marked. Stanley maneuvering around, two of them. Opens for a shot. It's blocked and then kicked into the goal. Boy, Stanley put it on the goal, and a goal for the Lady Cats.
Goal, Lady Cats.
Looked like Caitlin Robinson. I believe that was Caitlin Robinson. That would be my guess.
Number 7, Caitlin Robinson.
And if Haley looks over here, I didn't. They must mask it well if we don't quite get it right. They probably know it, but that's the way it looked to me. And so Caitlin Robinson with a goal, and at about 12:25 or something, and we're tied at 2 with 12:15 left to go here. And the Lady Cats want more. They get it over to Yamaguchi, and she finds Stanley. Stanley cruising by. Could not get by the second defender, though, and she kicked it off Yamaguchi. It'll go out of bounds, and last touch by the Lady Cats. Throw in for North Lamar. We're tied at 2 now at 11:50 still to play. Still a lot of things could happen here. Here's the throw in. Comes down to Olvera. She rolls it over to Laura. Laura finds Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi maneuvering in. Back to Laura. And send it down the field. Has a player in there, Haley Robinson. She got clear of the goalkeeper. Rolled it out. Nobody there except North Lamar. They kicked it off of Laura. Lady Cats trying to keep it in and doing it. Trying to find somebody open. Now it's pried loose. Comes down to Trenchard. And she kicks it deep. And the Lady Cats defender back there first and kind of screened off the North Lamar forward so that Worth could get a hold of it back in the goal there. Tied at 2, 10:53 left here in the second half. Now the ball went off of a Lady Cat and out of bounds. Throw in North Lamar. And Leonard's to throw in. Back to Leonard's and then kicked out of bounds. Lady Cats throw in. And so a throw in for the Lady Cats. Fessing, I believe, is down there. Down toward Laura. Laura finds Yamaguchi broken up by the Pantherettes. Now it's Laura in possession again, right at the midline. Oh, she slipped and fell trying to make a move, and North Lamar picks up the ball and kicks it down the field. Shelby McCormick peeling back on defense. Now sends it down the field to Laura. Vanessa Laura turns and finds Ashley Noe right in the middle of the field. And Ashley rolls it back to Olvera. And she finds Stanley. Stanley sends it down the field. Intercepted by North Lamar, and they'll kick it out of bounds. And a little bit of help from the fans there. Nicely done. Throw in for Olvera into Ashley Noe. She finds Laura. Oh, it went through her back over to Caitlin Robinson on the far side. And North Lamar coming out of there with it, though. They find Trenchard. And she sends it down the field. A North Lamar player steaming past Olvera, trying to get in there. Here's a kick toward the goal. It not a lot on that. Took 4 or 5 hops to get back to Worth. So she was up to the task, and she'll now punt it out of there. Less than 9 to play here in the second half, and we're tied at 2. And now the ball went off of Ladycat out of bounds. Throw in North Lamar. Leonard's will defer. I think, yeah, she's being substituted for, so she'll have to make the race all the way across this wide field. And throw in for North Lamar. This will be Michaela Winton. And there's Winton's throw in, headed by the Lady Cats. And now kicked out of bounds. Last touch, North Lamar, throw in Lady Cats. 8:15 left here in the second half. And we're tied at 2 here from Gerald Prim Stadium. Stanley has it and kicks it back to Thessing. Over to McCormick and down toward Laura. The Lady Cats trying to come out of there with it. It's kicked back, but Noe takes over. Ashley Noe works with a left foot down to Stanley. And Stanley rolls it to Yamaguchi. Some nice passing by the Lady Cats. And they send Stanley in, apparently onside. She keeps the ball from going out of bounds nicely. And now kicks toward the middle, a wide open Laura trying to get it down. It bounced away from her, and North Lamar able to kick it out of there. And now nice passing North Lamar. We find Trenchard, and she rolls it over to a teammate. Now kick toward the middle, nothing there but a Ladycat. And now the ball rolled over to Olvera down the field, but to North Lamar. They'll punch it into the 18-yard box and right into Worth. Lily Worth will punt it out of there. Got the punt away, headed by North Lamar, but into the Ladycats defense. Olvera bringing it up, taken away though by North Lamar. Winton, and now the Ladycats kick it out of there. And it comes down to Stanley. Stanley looks like she's just out for a stroll, and then she hits another gear, and down the near touchline she goes. She continues to pursue, and she ran out of field there, right on that touchline. Out of bounds, throw in North Lamar. I think Winton maybe will toss it in again. Michaela. 6:10 left here in the second half. We're tied at 2. Ball is thrown in off of Stanley. Comes down to Yamaguchi. Janine finds Vanessa Lara. And Lara rolls it back to Noe and back to Lara. She finds Haley Robinson. Haley Robinson down toward Caitlin Robinson. Caitlin moving in, trying to get open for a shot. Moves it back. Haley Robinson lines it up. Just missed the post. Just to the left of the post. A near miss there for Haley Robinson. And a goal kick for North Lamar with 5:29 still left here in the second half. 2-2 tie. The Deuces are wild. Here's a kick. Comes down to Stanley. She finds Yamaguchi, back to Stanley. Stanley moving into the field toward Yamaguchi. Tried to get around a defender, lines up a kick, went off of somebody, but got blocked. Comes over to Stanley. Stanley trying to line up a left footer. She is well marked. Gets it back to Olvera, who's creeped down. Right into the center, Ashley Noe. Noe moves to the right. Kicks toward the goal. It one hopper into the keeper. And a kick by coming up by the keeper, Coward. She's played the whole way. Nice job tonight. Ball down the field. North Lamar kicks to the midline. Maneuvering in. And tried to get it further down, blocked by the Ladycats. Ashley Noe mixing it up in there. And going to have a foul on North Lamar. Free kick for the Ladycats. About 7-8 yards from the midline in their own territory, right in the middle of the field. It's rolled over to Yamaguchi. And the Ladycats now on the attack as they get it down to Stanley. Stanley tried to get through a defender. She's being leaned on and gets it over to Lara. Lara moving in, kicks it down the field. Haley Robinson. Haley's knocked off her feet. The crowd didn't like that. Here's a kick toward the goal. It went to the left as Lara kicked just to the left. Crowd wanted that penalty as Haley Robinson knocked down, but the officials let them play on. Goal kick now for North Lamar. 3:35 left in the second half. North Lamar, again, some subs coming in. They've substituted freely tonight. Here's a kick out of the goal. And North Lamar tried to propel it further down the field and kicked it out of bounds. Throw in for Olvera would be Jasmine. And gets it into Ashley Noe. And she kicked toward Lara too far, and North Lamar thunders it down the field. Shelby McCormick turns and chases. She's got the ball and rolls it to a teammate who went through her and down the field further, and North Lamar comes up and chips it deeper as they put on some pressure with less than 3 minutes to play here in the soccer match. And now the ball to the left side of the goal, a kick, and it went off of the keeper, but just luckily it stayed outside the goal. And that'll set up a corner kick again with when they do this, there'll be less than 2.5 minutes left in this soccer game. Excuse me.
Corner kick for the Panthers.
So here's a corner kick from Paris, and goes all the way through everybody to the other side. The Ladycats trying to get it in a hurry. They boom it down the field to Haley Robinson. And Haley sends it down toward Stanley. Stanley, now it's knocked away from her, out of bounds. Throw in for the Ladycats. 2:05 left as the Ladycats try for one last charge. And Jasmine Olvera throws it in to Ashley Noe. And she rolls it to Vanessa Lara. And Lara, right-footed kick down toward Caitlin Robinson. North Lamar will get it out of there, and they're going to kick across the far touchline. Throw in for the Ladycats. 1:40 left to play in this soccer match. We're tied 2-2. Haley Robinson with a throw in off Caitlin Robinson. And now a whistle blows. We have a North Lamar player that is injured. So an injury timeout here. Oh, a yellow card is going to be given. And so that will send a Ladycat off. And looks like Lois Rocha is going to be checking in. And it looks like Caitlin Robinson got sent off. The North Lamar player is up now. And they've walked her off the field. So there will be a sub for that player as a substitution coming in. Again, the clock stops. This is a rare stoppage of play in soccer, but with the injured player. And now the North Lamar free kick, and they thunder it down the field. 1:21 left here in the second half. Now North Lamar putting the pressure on. Ladycats, Van Winkle over there on the far touchline. The ball across the touchline. And North Lamar with a throw in with just over 1 to play here in the match. They maneuver in, but the Ladycats kick it out of there. North Lamar's defenders now right around the midline as they put the pressure on. They got it down in there deep. And they sent it over to a teammate, and a thundering kick hit the football crossbar. That's out of bounds, so that deadens the play right there, because any of that football apparatus is considered that when it hits that stuff, it's a dead ball. That stuff on a regular soccer field would not be there. But Greg Owens did not want to dehorn his stuff there in the end zone. 15 seconds all that's left here. And now a deep North Lamar kick will go across the touchline. And that's pretty much going to do it. Nobody will even get to that ball before time is going to run out here. And that's going to wrap it up here. A 2-2 tie from Gerald Prim Stadium between a couple of old rivals here. The North Lamar Pantherettes and the Ladycats of Sulphur Springs. Boy, they have had some huge battles over the years, especially when they were battling for district rights. And so that's going to do it here with 2-2 tie. The Ladycats 2, North Lamar 2. It looks like I may have called out the wrong Robinson. It looked like Haley Robinson maybe was the one sent off on the yellow card instead of Caitlin. Because at the end of the game, Caitlin was still on the field and Haley came out of the dugout. So if I did that, I apologize. I think we got that right now. So, but again, there's a heat of battle like that. You're trying to make a play, and the official says it was just too much. So the players have congratulated each other on a hard-fought win. Let's recap the scoring. I don't think we have anything more. The Wildcats were way ahead of Sherman. We do have a halftime score, and the Wildcats continue to play well. Sulphur Springs 42, Sherman 24. And anyway, that is at halftime. The Wildcats having a big night up in Sherman, and the Ladycats winning 42-41. I know that's a dear, sweet victory for them on the road as they fought their way to victory tonight. And I know Coach Brittany Tisdale very proud of her bunch, as she calls them, mine. I've never heard a coach do that before, but I like it. And so hers got it done tonight, 42-41, and Clark Cipolletta's bunch also winning tonight big over Sherman by 18 at the half. Well, the scoring started tonight with J.C. Proctor at 36-38, and North Lamar led 1-0. The Ladycats got the equalizer from Vanessa Lara at 1900, and we were tied 1-1. North Lamar took the lead at 2-1. Trenchard after the corner kick at 21-41, a 2-1 North Lamar lead, and the Ladycats got the equalizer at 12:25, Caitlin Robinson. And so Robinson and Laura score the goals for the Ladycats, and Trenchard and Proctor get the goals for North Lamar. That's the way I saw it. And so a goal in each half for each team, and the result a 2-2 tie. So that's the way this one ends. The Ladycats now 0-0-1 for the season, and North Lamar goes to 0-3-2. So both of these teams will have to wait for their first victory. The Ladycats will be playing next in a Pine Tree tournament Thursday through Saturday. I think their JV will also be in action. And if I remember reading the schedule properly, the Ladycats will be playing teams like Jacksonville, Cleburne, and Pine Tree. Pine Tree said, hey, you guys can't come all the way here and not renew that old rivalry. Again, those two teams, the Ladycats and Pine Tree, have had some doozies over the years. Those two teams are really, gold's hard to come by in a lot of those games. And so they'll get to renew that old rivalry as well, as just like we did tonight. So this one again ends in a 2-2 tie, and the Ladycats go on now to the Pine Tree tournament Thursday through Saturday. And I think that just about wraps up all the loose ends. And we appreciate James Terry back at the station for running all the spots and doing all that stuff, making sure we sound good coming out of the control room. And Doug Haston, always a Herculean effort. We talked about that earlier, and he does that every time he comes to work with his setting up of the engineering. And flawless, we hope. At least I always find out the troubles when I get back to the station. But everything felt real good tonight, so hopefully it went well where you were watching or listening. And I'm Don Julian. Oh, Doug also with a video that you'll see on YouTube and also on Channel 18 if you get that. I'm Don Julian with your play-by-play. Once again, our final score in this non-district game from Gerald Prim Stadium as we renew the old rivalry. The Ladycats of Sulphur Springs 2, the North Lamar Pantherettes 2. Thank you for joining us this evening, and so long, everybody.
Thank you, Don. You've been listening to Ladycat Soccer on your official Wildcat and Ladycat station, KSST 1230 AM, Sulphur Springs, Texas. Back to Good Time Oldies after this message from our sponsor, UIL.